The following program is being brought to you on the Voice America Women's Channel. For more information about our network and to check out additional show hosts and topics of interest, please visit voiceamericawomen.com. The Voice America Talk Radio Network is the worldwide leader in live Internet talk radio. Visit voiceamerica.com. The views and ideas expressed on the following program are strictly those of the host or guests and do not necessarily reflect the views and ideas held by the Voice America Talk Radio Network, its staff, and management.
Welcome to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with Rebecca Hall Gruyter. In our program each week, we provide the tools, ideas, and encouragement to help you move ahead on your journey, becoming a more powerful and impactful woman in your own life. Now here's your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter.
Welcome, everyone. I hope that you're having a wonderful week. I'm so glad to have you joining us today as we lean in and talk about how to step forward with purpose and passion and transformation. And I hear these words out there all the time in the transformational worlds that I travel in, and with coaches and speakers and people who maybe aren't on the stages sharing about those things. But when we really get to the heart of the matter, what I hear a lot of people talking about is, I want purpose in my life. I want passion in my life. And what I want to let you know today is that it's a choice that you get to make every day, every breath. Today, we're going to give you great wisdom and insight that you can start applying in your life now so that you're equipped and empowered to make those choices. But you hold everything you need right now in your being and in your hands. It's a choice that we get to make. It doesn't suddenly come upon us that we have passion and purpose and transformation. It's deliberately choosing to live life on purpose, purposefully saying yes to things, being very aware of what we're saying yes and no to, being willing to live your life in that way. And it takes commitment. It takes consistency. And sometimes, being really honest with you, sometimes a little bit of discomfort. Because if we're looking to live our life in a way that we have never lived it before, that means we're choosing to do things a little bit differently. We're choosing to step out in a way that we haven't before. And so we don't necessarily have that familiarity. And our mind can be concerned and try to put us back into the normal. We'll just keep doing what we've been doing and work harder and hope we'll get different results because we know we can survive that. That's what the mind says. But if we can pause and have a conversation with our mind, reminding it that we're not in mortal danger, that we're going in this direction because we want to live with passion and purpose in our day-to-day life. And you're willing to be stretched a little bit as you're doing that, willing to step on a path perhaps you haven't stepped on before, or a little bit further out this way and that way, and have a little bit of discomfort because perhaps it's new. Sometimes it can be nerves. Sometimes it can be, I'm not sure I know how. But you know what? I'm willing to learn. I'm willing to figure it out. And when we make that choice to go through the discomfort to the other side and develop that habit of living your life on purpose, consciously choosing to go this way or that way, to say yes to things that are meaningful to you, that are in alignment with who you are, and no to the things that are not, that's how you step into living your life on purpose. It's a choice. And here's a key or a tip I have learned. Part of being able to make those choices is being aware you're making them. And for me, I am somebody that I am a doer. I love to work hard and make lists and cross things off, and I'll just keep adding things to my list. I sometimes can forget to pause, and that's part of the reason I've built it into the show each week with you, that I make sure we pause for a moment together, collectively listening, so that when we go through our time together today and you go back out into the world, you're doing it with choice, with purpose, with awareness, because I want to empower you to live your life on purpose, with passion, doing the things you care about in ways that are in alignment with who you are. And I believe that will bring transformation in your life and those around you. So let's together collectively take a breath. As we lean in to living a life on purpose, with passion and transformation. And I want to invite us to really sit in this space for a moment and see what wisdom is brought to you. For those of you who are driving, please, please, please stay safe, hands on the wheels, no texting and driving, be alert, but maybe just a little bit more still inside. For those of you who are able to, including my guests, I consider all of you my guests. Please put your feet, both feet on the floor. Put one hand on your heart, one hand on your head. Take a deep breath with me. And as you breathe out, close your eyes. You're perfectly safe. We're bringing all of you in, mind, body, heart, soul, and spirit. And I want to ask you the question in this quiet space, heart to heart. What is it that you need today to encourage you on your journey, to bring awareness into your life, to live on purpose with passion, bringing about transformation? As those words pour into you and we open your heart to receive, your ears to hear, and your eyes to see the vision of what you're called forth in, what is it that you need today, right now, to support you on your journey? Take just a few more seconds together. Breathing deeply, keep breathing. And receive the information that's being shared with you. It can be a picture, it can be a word, it can be a thought, it can be sometimes a memory, a reminder of something. And when you're ready, please come back into the room, fully present, opening your eyes. And I invite you to capture that information, really keeping top of mind today in our conversation, and as you go throughout your day-to-day, what it is that you need. I want you on the lookout for it. So easy for us to step in and help others and serve others and ask them what they need. We frequently don't pause and really see what it is that we need. And therefore, we cannot be sometimes full. We can sometimes be running in a deficit because we're not being aware of what we need and leaning into saying yes to whatever that may be. So let's take one more breath together. Fabulous. And my guest experts that are joining me today, we have Ron and Denise. And Ron, I was wondering if you could share something that was placed upon your heart.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love your meditations because it always gets me reconnected to who I am and why I'm here. And what came about today is this need for love. And not just the love, like I need love, asking my wife and my friends, can I have a hug? But the love that's ever present in my life, the self-love. And just becoming aware of that self-love and feeling myself and honoring myself on my journey. So thank you for that.
Beautiful. Absolutely. And I am sending you a hug.
I feel it. Thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely loved. And I love that you're out there very present in that and asking people to support you in it as you're exploring and digging deeper into self-love, that you're reaching out to people and allowing them to support you, because it is not a solo journey. We so need each other. So thank you for being so willing to share. And I'm glad you felt my hug. I absolutely sent that to you. Denise, how about you? Did you have something laid upon your heart?
I did, and I love what Ron said, and ditto on your meditation. That's wonderful.
Thanks.
Yes. I think some of us probably came up with the thought of needing more abundance in our life. Mm-hmm. And I know for me, I always love abundance in any way, shape, or form that it comes in. And one of the key things that I've learned in my life and also have shared with my clients is being able not just to give. As you know, Rebecca, as women, we love to give. And yet at the same time, we're not sure how to receive. And everything in life is energy. Abundance, money, love, everything is energy. So once we learn how to give and also to receive, life just begins to flow.
Wonderful.
So that was what kind of came to me.
Good. So listeners, for any of those who echoed her heart coming forward and her heart sharing with her the need for abundance and more abundance. I love that. Not just abundance. I want more abundance. I love that. And I invite all of you that giving and that receiving, you're absolutely right, Denise. We're so good at the giving, but sometimes it's vulnerable to be on the receiving side or to let people know that we need something, or we're wanting more of this. So I appreciate you sharing with us in that way. And listeners, I invite you to really think about what it is that you need to encourage you on your journey, to empower you on your journey. Perhaps it's feeling more love or more abundance in your life or more connection or tied to your purpose on a deeper level. I think for me, I know what was laid upon my heart was connection. I so value connection with all of you, with my community, with those in my life. And it's something I've been just sitting in and meditating in and leaning into more and more and more. And I have thankfulness laid upon my heart to have all of you in my life and be able to connect with all of you in this way. And Ron and Denise, having you in my circles as well, I'm very grateful for that connection. And listeners, part of what I hope you get from today is that collective connected wisdom from our hearts as you are stepping forward in life. Because you absolutely matter, you are absolutely needed, and we want you to have purpose and passion in your life and transformation. So please sit within this space for a moment or two as we go into our first commercial break and really listen to what it is that you need. Capture that information, write it down, and when you come back, we will start our first exciting expert interview. Look forward to talking to you in just a moment.
Your favorite Voice America Talk Radio Network shows and hosts are in your car, outdoors, and wherever you need them to be. Listen anywhere. Get our mobile app for iPhone, BlackBerry, or Android at the Apple iTunes App Store, BlackBerry App World, or Android Market.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for people like you. With just one 7-minute audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities. This is a dynamic way to share your message, reach more people, and expand your impact. Apply now at yourpurposedrivenpractice.net/speaker-talent. Finalists get to audition live in front of community leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Don't wait. Find out more. Visit yourpurposedrivenpractice.net/speaker-talent.
Become our friend on Facebook. Post your thoughts about our shows and network on our timeline. Visit facebook.com/Voice America.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-613-1612. That's 1-866-613-1612. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to empowering women, transforming lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that commercial break and you got an opportunity to really sit in that heart space and ponder, what is it that I need to serve and support me on my journey as I'm stepping forward by choice, on purpose, with passion, and bringing about transformation in my life and others. So what is it that you need? And one of the things I want to encourage you to do is listen to those commercials. I know during that first break, I love to have you sit in that space and listen. But as you're coming back from that listening space, I invite you to really lean into our sponsors and during the other commercial breaks. And here's why. These are organizations and people that believe in you. They believe in the work of empowering women and transforming lives so much that they're willing to put their time, energy, brand, and resources behind it. And whenever we can feel a little alone sometimes, it's wonderful to have that reminder that there are people and organizations out there absolutely leaning into you and investing in you. And I invite you to pay special attention to them and get to know these people and organizations that are really leaning into empowering women and supporting you on your journey and making this show possible. So I just want to give you a little reminder of that and encouragement too. It's wonderful to know that those people are sponsoring you and believing in what you're doing and the transformation that you're bringing into your life. So let's breathe that in. Absolutely loved, supported, and we are sending abundance to you. And with that, we wanted to lean into our first expert interview, and it's Denise. And Denise Hansard, you got to hear a little bit of her heart in that first segment, and I wanted to share a little bit of her formal background as we're bringing her into the conversation in a deeper way. She is an author. She has a master's in counseling, a certified life coach, had 20 years in corporate America, and she loves to help people become their best selves. Please lean in and welcome the amazing Denise Hansard. Welcome.
Thank you, Rebecca. Thank you. I love being here today.
I'm glad to have you.
Okay.
And I love to start with my favorite question, which is on a personal note, and that's why. Why this work of helping people become their best selves? Why is that personally so important to you?
I know it's because it's my gift. I've been working that way for a long time. Like even when I had my master's in counseling, I had an event that changed my life, went into the corporate world. And it was as I was in my journey in life that I really, truly recognized what my purpose was. And that was to be a guider and a teacher to people to live from their choices. And so as I stepped out of the corporate world, I recognized that this was my gift, and this was my gift to serve others. And that's why I do it. It's taken me a while to get here. Our journey is our journey.
Yes. And I'm just laughing because I feel the same about mine. Yeah. It didn't just happen overnight.
Yeah, exactly.
Can I ask you an even deeper question along this same line? Because I love how you have this gifting around helping people make these choices, live their choices, and be their best selves. What does that personally do for you? I know it's your gift, but when you're using that gift, what does that do for you, just personally?
It helps me, in so many different ways, Rebecca. When I say, and this is what my book is about, Suffering and Comfort, when I say own your choices, that is truly what life is about. And whatever I tell you, I put into practice in my own life. So it's about the self-love and the self-care and knowing when to say no, having those boundaries without feeling guilty, and knowing when to step away from everything, get grounded, and just be with me. And I own the choices that I make in my life. And every moment we have is a choice. And I think that's one of the most difficult things for people to recognize, is that we do have a choice in everything that we do. And that's what I help people to do. Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. I appreciate it. And I am sure a lot of our listeners are leaning into boundaries and choices. I hear that a lot, especially as we're headed into the holiday season, that suddenly we're all collecting together in ways that perhaps we're not collecting together on a regular basis. And there can be a little more energy or commitment or stress tied to that. And boundaries can come up or feeling that they've been crossed or not honored, and really trying to navigate through that. So I appreciate you sharing about that. And for those of you listening, really just adding some extra awareness to the choices you're making around boundaries. And I find it's really helpful, just myself personally, to kind of know what my boundaries are and have an exit strategy if need be when I'm navigating through waters that perhaps are a little bit tense, or we can love our family, but sometimes it can bring up things. And so it's good to have some exit phrases we can use, or transition phrases we can use, kind of know what our boundaries are. Same thing with friends and colleagues. It's just really good to have that awareness so that we can make those choices in a way that everybody is honored and wins, and we don't feel guilty, and we kind of know where we stand on things. So really encourage you to take some time out and really think about those things. Have you found that helpful, Denise, to apply that?
Most definitely. We all know how to say no. What we don't know how to do is to not feel guilty about it afterwards. And that's a huge process for most people. And as long as we recognize where we're coming from and what is in our heart, and we've made the choice to either say yes or say no, we can come from a different place. We can change the conversation that we're having with people. We can still be strong and love someone, even our family, when angst and anxiety is going on. So it does make it extremely helpful to understand to let go of the guilt part. And there was a specific reason you said no to something, or you said yes to something. Either way, makes no difference.
And owning it either way. I love how you say that. Own your choices. Truly powerful. Now, one of the things I've heard you talk about, we've talked about this on other interviews as well, so we have Denise back by popular demand. And it's trash talk. What is trash talk? And why is it important to be aware of it, to stop it? And how do we stop it? Can you enlighten us around trash talk?
Most definitely. Well, we all have our own trash talk, I can tell you that. I was working with a woman, she was mid-50s, owned her own business, was very successful, but yet every Monday morning, she became her own mean girl with her trash talking. She would go, why would anyone want to work with me? I'm not an expert. And yet she's been making good money for 20-something years, And so when we recognize that internal voice that we have going on within us, because whatever internally we're saying, we're also expressing externally. When we recognize the choice of our words, treating ourselves, then we can turn it around and never be a mean girl again. When you see yourself having trash talk, I'm not good enough, I can't do that, just take it, write it down, throw it in the trash where it belongs, get it out of your system.
I just got a great visual with that. Thank you.
It is. It's about put the trash where it belongs, in the trash can.
Beautiful. I totally celebrate that and underline it and say yes, because I find so many of us, we're our own worst enemy. We talk to ourselves in ways we would never dream of talking to someone, even someone we were upset with. And yet we talk to ourselves like that. And we should be, I was trying to think of what the opposite of trash, maybe it's treasure talk. We should be treasure talkers to ourselves versus trash talkers. And I love this exercise, Denise. So any of you, the next time you start hearing yourself being a mean girl or a mean guy and talking to yourself in this way, get it out of you, write it down, and throw it where it belongs. So beautiful.
And I will say I wrote down treasure talking because I'm going to use that now.
Oh, beautiful. I'm happy to share. You're very welcome. Good.
Oh, perfect.
Beautiful. And you had lightly mentioned a book. Your book before called Suffering and Comfort. And that can sound a little bit like an oxymoron, like, wait a minute. Do you mind sharing a little bit of what this book is about? And do people, quote unquote, suffer in comfort?
You know, we all suffer in comfort. We find that level of our life that we go, it's okay, even though it could be painful, but I'm comfortable in the pain that I know. And that's what it's really about. This book was really cathartic for me because it was about my journey in life and how I got to where I am, about all the stories that we have in our past. And what's interesting is that whatever story we tell ourselves and tell others, 95% of it is just our perception of what happened.
Yep.
There's only 5% truth in it. So guess what? We can rewrite that story the way we perceived it. And that's what that journey is on this book. It's about learning to let go of the past, honoring what's good in it, and being able to move forward in a step-by-step process to get to where you really want to be in your life, which is making a defined choice on everything.
Beautiful. Thank you. And I know this time goes so quickly, but I wanted to get one more thing in our time, Denise. And I know you've put together an amazing gift. Can you share about your gift in a minute or less to let our listeners know what is in store for them?
Certainly. My gift to everyone is to have a conversation with me. I'm very keen on being able to help you move through a transitionary period of your life, whether it's to find the love of your life, get super healthy, or make that career choice to have a six-figure income. Those are the type of results that you can get. So it's about talking with me. I'll give you a step, and then we can look at what's next after that. It's a phone conversation.
Beautiful. Thank you. And about how long is this conversation, just so they know?
45 minutes to an hour. I call it exhausted to exhilarated.
Love it.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So if anyone out there is feeling exhausted and is ready to be exhilarated, I encourage you to lean in and say yes. But you need to stay on to the end of the show for me to share how to access her amazing gift so that you can say yes. And just as a note, whenever a guest expert makes themselves available, especially for that length of time, that's really leaning into you and serving and supporting you in a big way. I encourage you to really weigh and really think about saying yes. If you're feeling exhausted and you're ready to start making choices in your life and move in a different direction, here's an amazing opportunity. So with that, we're going into our next commercial break and sponsorship opportunity. Remember, I want you to listen in to those organizations and people that are leaning into you. And we will look forward to talking to you in our next guest expert interview in just a moment.
Your favorite Voice America Talk Radio Network shows and hosts are in your car, outdoors, and wherever you need them to be. Listen anywhere. Get our mobile app for iPhone, BlackBerry, or Android at the Apple iTunes App Store, BlackBerry App World, or Android Market.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for people like you. With just one 7-minute audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities. This is a dynamic way to share your message, reach more people, and expand your impact. Apply now at yourpurposedrivenpractice.net/speaker-talent. Finalists get to audition live in front of community leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Don't wait. Find out more. Visit yourpurposedrivenpractice.net/speaker-talent.
Become our friend on Facebook. Post your thoughts about our shows and network on our timeline. Visit facebook.com/Voice America.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-613-1612. That's 1-866-613-1612. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to empowering women, transforming lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you enjoyed that break. You got a moment to breathe, maybe stretch, move around a moment, and listen to those amazing organizations and people that are leaning into you. And as promised, we are bringing our next guest expert to the stage here. But I wanted to share a little bit of his background. You heard some of his heart in our first segment. His name is Ron Coquia, and he is a heart-centered visionary who combines personal growth, art, and technology, a very rich mixture. Transformational coach, speaker, and I would call him a transformational speaker. Ron is all about transformation. If it doesn't have something to do with transformation, he's not so interested in it. He's really all about bringing forward transformation and changing the world. He is, again, a speaker, and he actually is a co-host on a television show and a producer of several shows. So with that, please lean in and help me welcome the amazing Ron Coquia. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Rebecca. I feel like a superhero when you introduce me. I love it.
Love it, yes. Well, and I love to start with why this work around transformation is so core to you and so important to you. Why does this work bring so much to you, and what does it bring to you in life, and why do you do it?
Yeah, that's a great question. And, you know, what Denise covered in the last segment, when she talked about suffer and comfort, that described a lot of my life. And I didn't think I was suffering because I had the six-figure income, I had the house in the hills, married my college sweetheart, amazing son, you know, loved everybody. But the person I was abandoning was myself. I was just trying to be successful to the world, but I was ignoring my true passion, what I truly loved. And that's when I realized I had to leave my 16-year career in IT and follow my passion to bring more transformation in the world, to be a motivational speaker and coach. And that's when my whole world started to change, and I realized how much abundance there was in discovering, finding, and following and embodying your truth, why you're here, your gift. No matter how difficult the journey is, just being there for you. So that's why I'm so passionate about transformation. I believe everybody has this deep inner desire to come home to themselves, to feel at home in all aspects of their lives, especially at the end of the day when they go to bed, and feel like, you know, they lived a full life, a full day, and they're ready to do it again the next day.
Beautiful. I love this because it's such an important reminder that every day matters and tomorrow isn't a guarantee. So what we decide and what we do today makes a profound difference in our life and in others. And so I just want to underline that as you're sharing, and something that I appreciated just as I'm reflecting back on our time together today with you, Denise, and some of my shares, and Ron, yours, that so much of what we do, our journey and the work that we do is because of our journey that we've been on. Yes. And why we're bringing it forward. And the work that we all do feeds our soul because it's part of our journey. And so we get to help others in that same way. And it keeps us, and I don't want to speak for you guys, that's not fair for myself. I find it's a really high level of accountability that if I say something or I advise my clients in a certain way, or I share it with all of you on air, when those choices come up or when something gets hard, I have to walk my talk, and I choose to as much as I am able to, because it's holding me to a standard of living my life. And I appreciate that. And it serves me to know when I talk about fear, it's one thing when we talk about navigating through fear, it's another when we're in that fear spot. And I can reflect back on what we've talked about or shared, and I know what to do, and it gives me the courage to do it. because I wouldn't feel like I could look myself in the mirror, or I could get back on air next time and speak in the same way if I wasn't. And so I appreciate that about this journey and the walk that we have and the opportunity we have in being coaches and mentors and leaders. And Ron, I don't know if you had any thoughts on that or anything you'd like to add.
Yes, very good point. And when you talk about fear, I remember when I left my career, because it was government and I was guaranteed to retire at 55, people were looking at me like, wow, you have so much courage. How did you find the courage to do this, to leave this career on purpose? You're not being laid off. And I said, it doesn't take courage. Because I realized I didn't feel brave. It's just, I had something I believed in. And that was the vision of really following my true passion, of really making a difference in the world. And that vision was more powerful, more grand, more beautiful, more fulfilling than any of the fears that I had at the time.
Beautiful.
So maybe they were right. I was fearless, but it was because I was connected to who I was and felt at home what I was going to do.
Yes. You had that clarity. Do you mind sharing, Ron, about a pivotal moment in that for you? I know you've shared it in past conversations, and I just thought it would be really enlightening and a great reflection point for our listeners today. Do you mind sharing what that a critical moment for you in that journey was?
Yes. We were on our way to the happiest place on earth. We just got off of the bus. It was my wife and my son, and we were going to spend the New Year's Eve in Disneyland. And I got this phone call as I stepped out of the bus, and it was my cousin in Seattle. And he said, Ron, something tragic just happened. Our cousin, Nino, he's only 21 years old, but he got hit by a drunk driver today. And within 30 minutes, he passed away. And at that moment, I was filled with shock. And after I overcame that sorrow, I realized there was something lingering inside of me. This question that was emerging because I drove to work 2 hours a day, and I could be hit by a drunk driver any day in my life. And I couldn't help but ask myself, what would I do? What would I feel if I got hit by that drunk driver and I only had 30 minutes to live? And that's when it hit me hard, that I realized that I was living a means to an end. And deep down inside was this deep emptiness, that I wasn't living the life I truly wanted. I wasn't pursuing my passion. I was doing what I was good at and what the world says, Ron, you're gifted at that. But it wasn't my dream. And that was the big awakening for me, and started me on a journey of actually looking inward and actually having that courage to step forward. And within 2 years, I left my job and started on this amazing, powerful journey.
Thank you. I appreciate you sharing that, Ron. And every time you share that moment with me or on stage or with listeners, just in a variety of environments, you can feel a depth and a quietness within myself and within the audience. And I think it's a really good thing to think about, because tomorrow isn't guaranteed. And if you had 30 minutes to live, are you living your passion? Are you living the things that matter to you most? And if not, this is an opportunity for you to start recognizing that and start choosing the things that do. And it's important that we check in once in a while, not with criticism, not with judgment, not with harshness, but really with curiosity and awareness. Am I on purpose? Am I living and doing the things that matter most? Because you absolutely matter. And you make a big difference, and you are uniquely gifted just as you are. So, thank you, Ron. I appreciate you sharing.
Thank you, Rebecca.
And absolutely. We've been talking a lot about transformation. Do you mind explaining what is a transformational messenger? What is that?
A lot of people think a transformational messenger is that transformational coach. You think of Tony Robbins or someone who's popular or, been maybe even in movies, written a lot of books. But there are transformational messengers all around us. And being a transformational messenger is about awakening to the awareness that we have choice in our life, that we have choice. And this seems like a theme of this talk. And that instead of being stuck in our unconscious habits and patterns of our life and just settling with what we have, we can look inside and we can find what we truly feel and what we consciously really want in our lives. And so being a transformational messenger is somebody who is on that journey of finding their truth and navigating that, and also wanting to share that with the world. Because even if you work a 9-to-5 job, you can still be a transformational messenger. You could still be on this transformational journey and supporting people in your life, be it your friends, your family, or even your coworkers. Anyone can be this positive transformational influence in the world. And I'm really passionate about helping people get their message out so that we can see a better world where people follow their truths, where people live in integrity and discover more love, joy, peace, and inner power in their life.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. And we are going through our time so quickly here, Ron. So here's what I'm going to do. I have one more question I want to ask you, and I'm hoping about a minute answer. And then we'll share about your amazing gift when we come back. So everybody, you want to make sure you join us for the final segment so you can hear about Ron's gift, and I share with you how to access them. But here's the question I would like to ask you, Ron, is how do you help transformational messengers?
The way that I help transformational messengers right now is through this powerful medium of video. And what I found is that people are not used to seeing themselves. And if you just take your iPhone or your smartphone and just video yourself and do a journal and go back and watch that, you get to know yourself from another dimension. And so I help transformational messengers step out into this powerful medium video to discover more of themselves, as well as share their message in the world in a very transformational way, very aligned way.
Beautiful. Thank you. And I love how you've shared that we all can be a transformational messenger every day in the choices that we're making and bringing that awareness into our life. So with that, I'm going to lead us into our next commercial break. And when we come back, we'll hear about the exciting gift that Ron has made available to us, as well as some final closing tips and thoughts. We look forward to talking to you in just a moment.
Your favorite Voice America Talk Radio Network shows and hosts are in your car, outdoors, and wherever you need them to be. Listen anywhere. Get our mobile app for iPhone, BlackBerry, or Android at the Apple iTunes App Store, BlackBerry App World, or Android Market.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for people like you. With just one 7-minute audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities. This is a dynamic way to share your message, reach more people, and expand your impact. Apply now at yourpurposedrivenpractice.net/speaker-talent. Finalists get to audition live in front of community leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Don't wait. Find out more. Visit yourpurposedrivenpractice.net/speaker-talent.
Become our friend on Facebook. Post your thoughts about our shows and network on our timeline. Visit facebook.com/Voice America.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. please call into the program at 1-866-613-1612. That's 1-866-613-1612. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you enjoyed that commercial break and you got to know some of those amazing sponsors. And I wanted to take a moment before Ron explains his exciting gift to make an announcement, because I wanted you to hear from me first about an exciting addition that we're going to have on Voice America. We are actually launching a channel called Empowered Connections TV, where we're going to be bringing programming that is, hopefully, our goal is transformational to the world, that we're going to bring guest experts and different hosts and different television shows, from documentaries to talk shows, that have a positive message, that have inspirational stories and content to really impact the world in a positive way. So you're going to be hearing commercials about that. You're going to be seeing announcements. I hope that you lean in and join us. It will be live November 1st. And Ron is the person that is helping with a lot of that behind the scenes, and his production company. So he's actually videotaping our empowerment series. Many of you have asked to live stream it or be able to be part of it. It's our local conferences that we do every year. And we're actually converting that into a television show that will be launched on that channel starting November 1st. And then every week and few weeks, we're going to be adding more and more and more shows and more transformational programming. So just keep leaning into that. I hope you check it out, and I hope that it really serves you and your sphere of influence, because we really want to impact the world in a positive way. So you heard it here first, and I hope that you lean in and say yes. We'd absolutely love to hear from you and see how we can continue to serve you in higher and higher levels. But with that, Ron, I have made them wait to hear about your exciting gift. Do you mind sharing about the gift you have put together for our listeners today?
Yes, thank you. I'm excited about the show. I'm excited about that launch. The gifts that I have for your listeners are those that are on that transformational journey of being a messenger. I know it's a roller coaster ride. There's a lot of ups, but also a lot of downs where we go in and we can, hit walls and blockages and pitfalls. And so I created this video that shares 4 big pitfalls that we can fall in as a transformational messenger, and how to transcend that so that you can stand in your power and continue moving on your journey.
Beautiful. And I love this, because if we know what the pitfalls are, we don't have to get stuck, or we might be able to sidestep them a little bit. So that's a very powerful gift, Ron. Thank you for making that available. So listeners, here's how you access these amazing gifts. But, actually, before I share that with you, I want to let you know why we give gifts to you. It's because we want to empower you on your journey. We love and honor this time that we're able to have together. But I want you to have the support that the experts here are sharing with you. I want you to be able to access them and build a relationship. It has been invaluable to me and my life to have connections with the people that we've been interviewing today and that we interview on our shows. And I want you to have transformation in your life. And I believe that takes taking steps, making choices, bringing this content, bringing this information forward. And that's what these free gifts are trying to do. That's why they're there. That's why we make them available to you. But it is absolutely your choice if you say yes or if you say no. And I invite you to say yes, but I wanted you to know the heart behind why we make these gifts available, why we create that opportunity, and the heart of the guests as they put those gifts together and personally design them for you. Here's how you access them. You go to Radio Gifts, and that's plural because there are more than one, .net. Again, that's radiogifts.net. You'll put your name and email address, and that's so we can stay in touch. And then scroll down and select the gifts that support you, that you lean into and can say yes. So I invite you to do that. Again, that's radiogifts.net. And I invited my guests to share one more piece of advice or tip that was laid upon their heart, and they said yes, it was their choice. I asked behind the scenes so they weren't put on the spot, and they said yes. So Denise, what tip or idea or suggestion did you want to share with us today?
The biggest thing is to put yourself first. Choose you. This is not vanity. It's like putting your oxygen mask on yourself first so that you can give your gift to others.
Yes. Thank you. Absolutely. This, and I'm just going to underline this because this I think we can get really mixed up on and wrestle with saying yes to some ourselves or saying yes to someone else. Sometimes it becomes an or type of situation, and we can't serve from a place of deficit if we aren't filled and we're pulling what we need out more and more and more. Pretty soon we're going to be empty, and then we're going to need from others. But if we can fill ourselves to overflowing and then serve from that place of overflowing, that, as I like to say in my business world, is a sustainable model. That can go indefinitely because it's coming from the overflow because you are filled, and then you can serve endlessly. So I underline that. Choose you first. Absolutely. Thank you, Denise. Powerful.
Thank you.
Ron, how about you? Did you have a tip, something else on your heart you wanted to share with us?
Yes. A lot of people out there are struggling to find their message as a transformational messenger, their niche, or the people they serve. And what I'd like to invite people to do who either want to be a transformational messenger or are going through this journey trying to find what do they want to focus on or should focus on, is to go inside and to let go of what everybody says you should or should be, and just go into your heart and connect with the transformation that you already embody in your life. Because everyone out there has gone through something difficult or challenging and has overcome it. And in that, there's such great deep wisdom and power that can really help support others that are going through the same thing. So you are a transformational messenger, whether you know it or not. It's just a matter of looking inside and owning and being aware of the transformation that you already embody.
Yes. Thank you. Underlined. I'm nodding here for those of you who can't hear that and saying yes. It begins with you. Carve that time out every day to check in and really see what matters to you. And are you on purpose? And discover that transformation within. You'll be so glad that you did. And that transformation begins with you. Again, it choose you first. And then you'll be able to step out in greater ways with clarity, with direction, with purpose, because we are wanting to support you, but it is your choice to step forward with purpose and passion and transformation. And I want to encourage you to say yes to you. To really discover where you start and stop, what you stand for, what's important to you. Take a moment every day to just check in. Am I saying yes to the things that matter to me? Or no? How can I start saying yes to more of the things that matter to me and no to more of the things that do not? It will make a profound difference on your life, on you, and all of those around you, because you are a gift. There's no one else just like you. No one else has to offer what you have to give and who you are. And I don't want you lost in the hustle and bustle of daily life, because you're needed just as you are. I invite you to take a breath today, to lean in, listen, and make a choice. Make choices, moment by moment, breath to breath, that are bringing more of who you are, how you're gifted, how you're aligned forward, and no to those things that are not. And wherever you go, whatever you do, may you always, always bloom where you're planted and shine. We look forward to talking to you next week.
Thank you for joining us this week for Empowering Women, Transforming Lives. Please tune in again for another edition with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter, next Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 11 a.m. Pacific on the Voice America Women's Channel. And join us for a replay of the show every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 p.m. Pacific on the Voice America Empowerment Channel. Have a beautiful week, and may you always bloom where you're planted and shine.